interviews, politics, pop culture, The Real Housewives, Vanderpump Rules, all reality TV, and everything else in between. Listen to the I Am Rappaport Stereo podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's time to give stuff away. It's time to give that stuff away. It's time to give stuff away. Give stuff away.
All right, you want to go see Glorious Sons coming down from Kingston, Ontario. They're on their Glory Tour. They're going to come through to do the House of Blues Wednesday night, September the 20th. Go to Ticketmaster.com to get the details on the show. Good band, though. I dig these guys. 2 tickets here for you if you are caller 10 for Glorious Sons. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Brain dead entertainment throughout history. The Cup and Ball, the Yo-Yo, Pong, the Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
This is a big song we played a few years ago, right? Sawed-Off Shotgun. It's a good song. Canadian rock and roll for you. Glorious Sons. No, I have to assume that they have other songs, but we were playing this probably 4 or 5 years ago. But Glorious Sons is one of those bands that's a big, big deal north of the border. They're a Canadian band, of course, and they win a lot of Juno Awards, which are the Canadian Grammys. But down here, they come through every so often, and I think if you're a Canadian band too, Cleveland is a really good place for you to come through. I'll have another $1,000 here for you in about 5 minutes. 5:30 is going to be the next keyword for you to grab some cash from the Buzzard bookie. Last week to do it, by the way, too. Friday at 8, something maybe. Be the last one, but about 13 chances every single day before then. We're talking about Poundcake moving, and I mentioned Cam's Corners, and he said West Park. I always thought those are the same thing. They might be, but Gwen is a sucker for like estate sales.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when people die and they go, hey, there was one in our neighborhood last week that I think she kind of went and poked around. There's a website that will point you to these sales if you really want to dig in, and it's literally estatesales.net. And she was sending me pictures from one over in Cam's Corners. And it was all this Nazi paraphernalia.
Oh, boy.
And I'm like, that's got to be an American veteran who killed a bunch of Nazis and took these, right? She's like,
hoping.
I don't know. I'm hoping. It was a lot of medals, like Third Reich workbooks that you had, it was a while. I'm like, because it's not illegal to sell this stuff in this country. You might have noticed there's a big market for Nazi paraphernalia, but somebody at an estate sale was selling a shrimp ton of Nazi stuff, like medals and books. And I didn't see any swastika flags in there, but obviously everything on it had a swastika on it. I was like, holy cow. Because it seems if you were somebody that was really into that stuff for something other than historical purposes, you probably wouldn't. There's going to be a different avenue for you to unload that stuff other than an actual website devoted to estate sales that you can go to. And quite frankly, anybody who is interested in that stuff, you can just say, well, I'm into all things of historical value. But it was jarring to see. I'm like, who is this person that's got all this stuff? So there was no indication one way or the other.
Maybe that dude from the Netflix documentary moved from Parma to Camp Square. What was that, Nazi Next
John
Door
Demaniuk?
or something?
Yeah, but he died a while ago, right?
Oh, maybe
they put him in prison, and that's the thing, boy. They doesn't matter how old you are, they're still hunting Nazis. Yeah, he died in 2012. And he maintained his innocence to the very end. But when you have a whole bunch of people that went through the concentration camps, are like, yeah, that was the guy that killed my nephew, or that kind of stuff. Grandfather. You're probably not going to outlive your nephew who died in the concentration camps, but nevertheless, you take my point. Yeah, he lived in Seven Hills. That was a big story back then. And you're right, that was that documentary.
My Nazi neighbor.
The Nazi Next Door?
Nazi Next Door.
I like My Nazi Neighbor better. It sounds like a wacky sitcom from the 80s.
Yeah.
My Nazi Neighbor.
Devil Inside Us. What the hell was the name of that?
Devil Next Door?
Devil Next Door.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
I saw that too.
I like My Nazi
Yeah, you
neighbor.
turn that on to relax.
Yeah.
Go wish.
I mean, I kind.
Well, the thing is, most of those people, once they get them and they're 95 years old,
Gonna die anyway.
they've had a family who knows nothing about their past. Like they got married, they had kids. Imagine finding out your grandfather was a Nazi because these people, because they have made a life here. And again, let's be real. This country historically, it doesn't really walk the walk when it comes to hating Nazis. I mean, we relocated half of their scientists after World War II. But if you've built a family in this country and they know nothing about your past or whatever, with your family, they can't even get their heads around it. So obviously they're not going to believe it's you. You'll say till your dying breath it's not you. All evidence to the contrary.
What if you own it? You're like, yeah, it was me. Yeah, you got me.
I think by the time you get to 95, if you have a family, you're not going to do that. You're going to go, you got the wrong man. Because why would you say that was you?
Like, you got me.
I mean, the prosecution's job is to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. So that's their job. You're not going to give them any information.
Yeah, they didn't have cell phones with cameras.
Yeah.
Back in the 40s.
Yeah, they're just taking really young pictures of you and putting it next to old pictures of you and doing handwriting samples, which is all hooey anyway.
Yeah.
Handwriting analysis is, not exactly science. By the way, thank you. I think Gay Tim sent me this. That woman's song, the woman who's divorcing her ghost husband.
Oh, nice.
Her name is Brocard. That is her artist name. You want to see the video for it?
Oh, God.
It's called Just Another Anthem.
Is it in front of a...
It's just as...
Is there a bunch of American flags burning?
No.
My eyes are bleeding. My heart is dripping wet. How many tears till I forget?
By the way, the video looks like it had a budget of like $17.
Oh, of course,
and
yeah. What did you expect?
the lyrics don't
Those
make
don't have
any
money.
sense. And yeah,
What's her name again?
Brocard.
Oh, God. This sounds like something you would listen to.
Who?
Wait, you.
We're going to be premiere of the new Brocard at 2 hours to midnight on Saturday night.
Burn our bridge and let it light the way. Strike a better match while you turn to gray.
Like, what is she doing in the video? It's...
What's someone ever doing in a music video?
Well, sometimes it goes along with what the song is doing. I mean,
No,
she's just
not
sitting
for- I
there
think she's
shaking her head. And
possessed.
Not for heavy metal or punk rock. They just rock
you
back
don't
and
know
forth.
anything punk rock. Panic at the Disco, this guy.
They rock back
You
and
know
forth.
nothing of what you speak.
Spread out your hands, look crazy.
Just another anthem. A hate proclaiming, nauseous shaming. Crack a dish that's totally draining. You and your
I don't hate this. I don't
Of
like
course
this kind
you
of
don't.
music, and I don't hate this.
Why? Because it's a chick singing?
No, I don't. I mean, it's not even anything about that. It doesn't sound that bad to me.
Yes, it does.
I mean, it has production value, but it's a terrible song. I mean,
But look at what other songs Mary likes.
well, listen, some songs hit you the right way, and it might be outside the genre you're usually into, but,
It's no System of a Down.
a few things are. But even the name of it, Just Another Anthem, like, none of it makes sense. Now,
Doesn't
again,
have
this
to.
woman is divorcing a ghost. So you're right. It doesn't have to make sense. I got money for it. It is $1,000, courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie. Each and every one of those keywords is going to put $1,000 in somebody's pocket. I hope it's you. Good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Cash. That's cash. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
You want to leave voicemails for us, you can do that anytime. The Alan Cox Show After Hours line is available to you. It's 216-986-8903.
Hey, Alan. I just wanted to let you know that I am into kink and like BDSM and stuff. And if Mary wanted to arrange something in person, there's no need to feel unsafe. Like, that's why you got to communicate with these guys and maybe get to know them. But if she were to get to know somebody a little bit better before she'd realize that who she could have in-person sessions with and who she couldn't trust. Maybe if she can build some trust.
Okay, I don't know what the hell this guy's talking about, but I mean,
This guy's definitely getting off just on that phone call.
these calls. Well, I just realized these are among the calls that come in when we're on a Sum Up show. So people think that we were off. It was a Sum Up show on Friday, so I probably aired something, and he's responding to that.
Well,
because I don't remember I don't think we recently had a conversation about you and BDSM.
Not BDSM, but someone asked about in session. That was a couple weeks ago about like doing foot sessions with guys in person, and I said $250,000, and then that's what started the whole conversation of my toes going into Bill's mouth.
Right. Well, according to that person, he's got his kink. And all you have to do, Mary, as though you didn't know how to engage and meet another person.
How much did I get off of that? Like 30,000?
It was $100,000, I think, to put my
yeah,
feet
but
in
you
your
said
mouth.
you give me 30%.
And we would do 70-30, yeah.
It's called the finder's feet.
Okay.
You got it. So yeah, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, you can.
If that's what maybe that's what that was referring to.
If there's any millionaires out there in Cleveland or people who are financially irresponsible, and you would like a
financially irresponsible.
Yeah, if you would like a 1 hour session with my feet, $250,000, OBO.
She said no BO?
OBO.
OBO or best offer?
Yes.
No BO and OBO.
Yes.
Yep.
I feel like you need to bring someone with you just to make sure. So
you don't get murdered.
Yeah, pay security.
Guard, yeah.
Right. How you know the security guard might be in on it?
They would be a friend of mine, dummy.
Everyone has their price.
Well, don't make Poundcake your security, and you'll be just fine.
No duh.
I was reading about a woman from Houston, a woman named Fan Pei Kung, Asian woman, she moved.
Any relation to Beng Ding Ao?
As far as I could tell, not any relation to Bang Ding Ao. No.
Sum Ting Wong, Wee Tu Lo, Ho Li Fook, and Bang Ding Ao.
Nope. Oh, I'm sorry. I just got a text. Distant cousin. Fan Pei Kung is a girl in Houston, and she moved to the Ukraine to work as an emotional support stripper.
Nice.
There's all kinds of people who have come from this country to volunteer over there, right? There's soldiers, there's aid workers who are like delivering supplies. But this girl, you really got to hand it to people who are, come hell or high water, they will become the influencer that they claim to be. And this is a girl, and again, I don't know if she was killing it on Instagram, but it couldn't have been that great of a life if she's like, I'll just go to Ukraine. She moved to the Ukraine as an emotional support stripper.
Oh.
She's 33, refers to herself as a sex tourist. She created an OnlyFans account that is free for Ukrainian soldiers and volunteers and even some local civilians.
Now that's what's up. That really is giving of yourself.
She's volunteering in Kharkiv on her OnlyFans, and it said that she makes content about everything from free emotional breastfeeding sessions to soldiers to collecting donations so that she can distribute them to the volunteers. So this is a person very much giving of herself, right? Going over there. Hey, any of you soldiers need to breastfeed or anything? I mean, might not be a lot in there, but
I've talked about this with my friend.
I've
talked about this with my friend who's in the military. I said, is there not like a position for like soldier accompaniment, like where I can just be there and just like everyone, you need a cuddle buddy. Everyone has, their extra blanket. I just walk down the halls at night and just make sure everyone's good.
Well, all I would say is this is a much more crowded field than it was 3 years ago being on OnlyFans in Ukraine, because as these cities were getting bombed and people's livelihoods were kind of pulled out from under them, a lot of Ukrainian women got on OnlyFans. So she says that she's a sexy girl in Ukraine on OnlyFans, there to volunteer and, in her words, probably put out.
I love the honesty.
I
love the honesty.
Right.
And probably.
Well, it's not like she's on the front lines. I mean, she's in one of these cities that is very far away from the Eastern Front, too. So, but she left Houston. And, boy, imagine the problems you got where you live, where you're like, I got to get the hell out of here. I'll just go to Ukraine.
I'll just go to a country where they're being bombed.
It's got to be better for me in Ukraine than in Houston. That means there's dudes trying to kill her or something.
A lot of humidity.
Like the driving crooner.
Oh. I was thinking.
People
are trying to kill him.
They're trying to kill me. She said she had lived multiple lives, which included winning the first prize at a NASA Space Health Challenge 10 years ago, being deferred from an Ivy League school, and competing in the Miss Taiwanese American pageant a few years ago. She also lived in Oakland, California. And it's a lot of pictures of her putting gun muzzles suggestively in her mouth and things like that.
Huh?
To turn dudes on. Some guys like that. They like guns. They like the suggestion of
suicide?
Violence.
Ammo fellatio. Yeah. So she ended up in Ukraine and as an emotional support stripper. And she said, I've lost about 5,000 followers since moving to Ukraine. That seems to be going in the opposite direction, but okay. Because if you're a hot chick, they don't want you talking. They're not going for the message. She's talking to people about what's going on in Ukraine. They're not going for the message. They're going for the boobs.
Or the butt.
Or the butt. Whatever. By the
or
way,
the toes.
At Slim and Chubby's, on Saturday, when we were giving away the Buzzard bike, I was introduced to stripper Scott's cousin.
Oh.
Who would not give me her name. She was at like a high top eating with another guy, and the guy stops me. He's like, hey, Alan, I love your show. I go, hey, thanks. He goes, this is stripper Scott's cousin. I look at this woman, and she looked like, I recognized her because I had actually parked my car next to hers, and she was in as I was getting out. So I go, oh, what's your name? She wouldn't tell me. I said, that's probably wise.
What does it matter, though? She's not the one doing stuff.
Right. And nobody would know who I was talking about anyway. It doesn't matter what it was.
Whatever. She wants to keep it
but I was like, that was an odd connection to the show. Because we haven't heard from Stripper Scott in a long time. And I'd probably venture to say neither has his cousin. But she seemed very nice and looked like she was enjoying her salad.
Was she upset with the guy saying that, oh, this is Stripper Scott's cousin? Because that would be...
he seemed to find more humor in it than she did, but because she probably didn't even know who I was. But they were both very nice. I've got to take a break. If you want to send a text, 35192 to get me there. AlanCoxShow.com if you want to watch live.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 W.